one and all, and welcome to the RSC EU Season 13, Week 2 of League Play. My name is Vector, alongside me is Kieran. I believe our first time on the cast together, and the very first time you casted the RSC as well. You said you were a little nervous before we got started, but as I tried to tell you, there's nothing to be nervous about. We're all wonderful here at the RSC. We're all very welcoming, and we hope you're enjoying your time here.
Well, thank you for the warm welcome, Vector. I'm happy to be here. I am looking forward to this. Hopefully the nerves wear off and I can deliver the casting experience that people would hope to get from me. Live up to some of the other people that do cast, do a very good job of casting. So, yeah, Vector, how about you tell us about the match we have coming up, because it looks quite tasty to me.
I would absolutely love to. We start, as always, with the first match of the night. 3 matches on the docket throughout the stream. Starting off with the rival tier, Python versus Mirage. Now, this, by all accounts, looks like a washover. First versus 10th, Mirage being in first. 3 victories already, not 12 games won, but 3 series won. And all the way at the bottom, Python down in 10th. Now, that's not a massive difference. There's only 5 games between them because it is only the second week. But you want to get off to a stronger start than that. Python have lost 2 of their opening series, won 1 of them. And Mirage just continue to be on a roll. So I'm looking to them to be the stronger of the 2 sides. But I still think that Python have something to say here. They still have a little bit of sting left, as they are the Python. And I think this probably goes Mirage's way 3-1. That's my prediction. I still think that Python have got just that little bit more. Maybe if they get out the gates quicker. The little birdie told us someone hasn't had a scrim. Maybe that affects them. Maybe it doesn't. We shall have to see.
Yeah, definitely. Not having a scrim can be a massive downfall if it means that you are warmed up less if you're not prepared. But maybe it means they come in a bit more fresh. I'm certainly looking forward to seeing how that affects their gameplay. Now, only time will tell as I think the players are ready to join the lobby.
Certainly are. Talked about before, Mirage, 3 series, 3 victories. If you're new to the RSC or you just want a refresher, we do play out 4-game series. So you can get a 4-0 sweep, a 3-1 victory or defeat, or my personal favorite, a 2-2 draw, meaning that both sides to share the spoils, utilize their ability to get their way through. As an early chance goes spurned for Mirage there. A flick doesn't find its way through as Martin Neves something. I don't know what that name is. It's not one of the people that was on the roster. It's a different name to the one that I recognize, but already both sides opening in the first 30 seconds with some incredible chances. Be sure to try and finish this one off, and well, I don't even get a chance to introduce the teams and the players, Kieran, because they've already scored.
Well, yeah, certainly. Mirage certainly showing us why they are currently sitting at the top of the table. It only took them 27 seconds to get their first goal. Python, we're going to have to see how quickly they can respond, but already strong beginnings from Mirage, but Python, quick response, and after just 31 seconds, we're already tied up at 1 apiece.
Welcome to Rival, everyone. We hope you enjoy your stay. 30 seconds in, we've already seen 2 goals for either side. One pretty well set up by Kendo and finished by Bisho, but this one straight off kickoff. Way too easy for Martin to find a flick over the third man there. Need to shore that up very, very quickly, unless we start seeing some ridiculous scorelines, maybe even double digits. Time shall tell, but getting started with this one, already so action-packed, we haven't had the chance to discuss some of the finer details. Bisho, Kendo, Patroid all started off this season well. It could just be a honeymoon period for this team, of course. Patroid, as he takes this ball to the corner, a former champion, I believe, of the rival tier, was all the way back in Season 9. So a fair while ago, 4 seasons ago, but he's still got that winning mentality, I'm sure. Still got that champion blood in his veins, and I'm expecting him to show that throughout this series and throughout this season as well. They've started well, looking for a double, bouncing off the side wall, and eventually finds its way to Bisho once again to pick up his brace, but all of this groundwork done by Patroid, a great way to start out this game.
Yeah, and Patroid showing us exactly why he was a champion of the rival tier in the past, so lovely setup by the man who has been victorious and is trying to lead yet another team to 1 more championship. But here we go.
Hold on a second.
Goes up into the air, double, doesn't quite find his target. But
wasn't expecting to see that.
Neither was I, but here we go. Once again, like you said, welcome to Rival. Now Tornado actually has control of the ball again, goes towards the left side, running out of boost. Does leave this. Good play up to Laroni. Time on the backboard, but Patroid just about sends that away. And now...
Some spooky times for Mirage's defense. Yeah.
Exactly, but Python trying to keep up that pressure as it does go back to their end. Just a bit of kickabout now, as it seems as the players' nerves settle down. Maybe the lack of that scrim, maybe starting to wear off as they get used to the Rocket League they're now playing.
Some people may have noticed already by this point, Beeping Sheep not on the Python side, the captain of this team, unable to play tonight. One of the players that went all the way in the ERSC Landemonium, just gone a couple of weeks back. Kendo on the field as well was also there. Didn't end up playing, but is playing tonight, and so we've got some LAN experience on the field at the very least. As Patroid finds his way back down the midfield line. Easy enough for Tornado to deal with, but his teammate will be demoed for the trouble. He's a little bit annoyed he couldn't get that through as Tornado all the way back down the field. Can take it in a 50. Patroid is back to send this only to the third man, who maybe rushed up a little bit too much there as Bisho looking to find his hat-trick. Can only send it to the backboard. Patroid to follow with a free shot. It's going to be so easy. Unless there's three defenders as the Pythons coil up on their goal line and prevent Mirage taking that crucial 2-goal lead.
Yeah, Pythons showing a little bit of a shaky defense so far, but once again, here come Mirage trying to pepper that back line. Two of their players on the backboard, but as even 50 goes out to the right side of the field, Martin is actually able to collect this, immediately challenged by Kendo, who will look for another 50. Goes past him, Tornado looking for the disruption on the back line, but now Kendo with 0 boost is going to try and play something mid for his teammates, but nothing there. Martin, nice little drift play around 1. Does actually get this off to Tornado, who will fake the aerial and hits it nice and high, and Patroid actually will have to hit this one sky high. Now Bisho out to the right side. Martin, can he work any magic? Not quite. We go right back up the other end. Still 2-1 with a minute remaining. Time for the Python side, but it could be very well running out quite soon. And Mirage do want to use that lack of time to find a second goal and just about end this first game, Vector.
Certainly will, as we find Laroni on the ball here. The veritable sub for this team has only played 4 games of the so far 12 that Python have had. I should imagine filling in for the aforementioned captain, Beeping Sheep. I think Martin is Killer. I think that's his name in the league proper, because he's looking to be the stronger player on this side, as the stats would suggest. The statistical power rankings that we have in the database is Tornado tries to wind his way through the defense there, but too many bodies, too many chassis to weave through. There's a big chance goes begging. Now all the way back down the field, Tornado has to do it again, gets stopped at the first time of asking Martin to take it over Patroid, but Kendo can just take all the time he likes to get a flick over the first and the second. Can he filter this to the midfield? It is Tornado to flick it forward. One last chance, maybe. Bounces. Laroni has time if he just leaves this for his teammate, but he's going to take a chance off the post, pinched out, and finally drops dead. Somehow that was not on target. Laroni went for glory, and unfortunately was denied by an incredible stop on the post. Mirage just about take this without an overtime. I wasn't expecting it to get that exciting at the end, Kieran, but I'm glad we got a photo finish like that.
Oh, that one has got me hyped up for the next game. Python so close yet so far. So close to finishing that and sending this game to overtime, and maybe just planting that seed of doubt in Mirage's mind. Just that little bit of poison. But we'll go into game 2 shortly enough, but Python maybe starting to ramp up just that little bit of momentum. Or are they exhausted from that? Are they disappointed, or has that fueled the fire? Are they angry? Do they want to take this game 2 now? Take that game off Mirage, prove there's no point why you should be top of the table. We could very well be top of the table.
They certainly could, as we talked about at the beginning. Simply 5 games between them. Well, 6 technically now, as Mirage took the opener, but it was a close one. Mirage, they just couldn't seem to continue on the path of what they started. They got the first goal, they conceded immediately off of the kickoff, pretty much, and then they got the second from Bisho and Patroid's contribution there as the assist man. but they just couldn't do much more from that. Python very much grew into that game in the second half. They couldn't quite find their way through. A couple close chances, but in this one, all square, the slate is wiped clean, and they have a second chance, and still a chance to take this entire series. Of course, as I mentioned, 4-game series. They can still win this, should they win these next 3 games. But they've got to start here on Forbidden Temple. Second game, one of the most difficult in a series, because, well, if you lose the second, you're only playing for a draw, and that can really demotivate you. That can really put a stone in your shoe, shall we say, and make it so much more difficult to motivate yourself and get that play that's necessary to win the final 2 games. So they'll be desperate to win this second game and start off a lot stronger, as they are here in the blue corner, attempting to find their way through in a pretty Rule 1 direction, pretty standard kind of play to try and get it through the corner. But to no avail. Mirage easily enough stopped that one out, as it's now more back and forth. And as you mentioned, as we got through the first game even, that nerves might have started to wear off, and they're starting to get a bit more consistent with their gameplay. Game 2 is where I expect that to bear fruit and to really show what they can do. As another chance for Patroid does not go in, and it finds its way to Bisho. This is getting a little bit more deja vu than I'd hoped, Kieran, but Bisho will be happy about it, padding his stats, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think Bisho will give 2 Rocket League balls, but here we go. Back to the kickoff once again. Just almost a minute gone, and once again, Python find themselves a goal down. Does go into their half, and Bisho has a touch into the corner. Nothing comes to fruition from it, but Patroid now will send this to the backboard, out a boost to follow it up. Bisho actually does want to follow this up. Once again, sends it to the corner, and maybe Python just starting to get a little bit panicky. Maybe needs to take that breath and reset. Tornado gets it past one there, trying to become dangerous now. Tornado trying to be that catalyst for Python, and it's so close to getting it mid, but just can't seem to get that final touch from any of the Python players. They end up running on a boost and having to scamper back to their own corner, and it's just allowing Mirage to come forward.
Yeah, they seem to just be playing with whatever they like at the moment. There's very little threat from Python, at least in the final third. They get on top of each other more often than not, and don't trust that the play is going to go forward. As Tornado attempting a flip reset there. I don't know if it had got much from it. His momentum was not in his favor, but this one will be! As he sneaks back around the far corner. Not a single Mirage defender recognized the threat coming through here. Just completely left it alone on the backboard, as he could snipe just under the crossbar to equalize much later than they did in the first game, but I'm sure they won't mind just one bit. At the very least, they've got 3 more minutes to hold on to this for an overtime, or even dare to do and go forward to get a go-ahead goal in this second game. But they'll want to get it maybe a little bit more consistently. They were gifted that chance, I feel like. If Mirage's rotation on defense would have been just a little bit stronger, then that chance just doesn't happen. So Mirage need to figure that out very quickly, make sure they don't get exposed once again.
Yeah, and it seems like the winning strategy, which often I feel like in the lower 3 tiers is so effective. It's just passing the ball around and making it, and just playing a game of keep away against the other squad. But it just depends on who does that the best. We see passing plays, week in, week out, especially from some of the fantastic players in these leagues. But otherwise, they're not the most common thing. We don't get to see them all that often. Now Leroni actually will try to set one off back, but actually just gifts it to Kendo. This one somehow will find its way away from the net, but Python just getting in each other's way, and Mirage are happily going to take it. They're spaced out from each other. Goes towards the backboard. Kendo, now Patroid, can he find anything? Would be able to set up a teammate if one of them were there. Still so much space. Kendo, he's going to have his shots. 2-1, and then just... Python, where are you at? You're all over the place, but you're not in your net.
I mean, it's great recovery by Kendo, to be fair. The Scotsman finds his way through, gets his first goal of the series. Bump to the sidewall, but bounces straight back into the path of the ball. And as you were saying, where is Python? Where is the defense? Is they're almost exposed once more, straight off kickoff. Could they get that second goal, Mirage, that they were looking for in game 1? Not this time around. But yeah, Python starting to to capitulate It's Mirage that are consolidating the control here. It's Detroit again to the backboard. Both defenders just reversing because they're not anticipating the play. They're having to react late, and that's allowing Mirage's offense to run on all cylinders, to run so much quicker than Python are even thinking about how the play is developing. And it allows Kendo to pick up his brace as well. 2 for 2. Bisho immediately hunting back again. They desperate to get that goal difference up and make this this conference look a little bit more silly than it already currently is.
Yeah, exactly. Mirage do want to extend that massive lead, and unlike what I was saying earlier, prove why they are top of that leaderboard. And they certainly are showing us why. Taking the first game, now pretty dominant performance in the second one, only one small mistake leading to that one they did concede. And Patroid has another chance. Can he triple the lead in the first game? The dirty bump, but Laroni there to save the day. Now Tornado in front of his own back line. All of them getting in the way of each other again. He's going to need a goal from this play pretty much as he hunts up the field, but again, shut down immediately. Rule 1 like defense coming out of Mirage. This one snakes its way towards the goal, but it's going to need to clear for Patroid. Roni now clears this off towards the other side. Okay. No one beats him to the ball, but he can't hit it himself. Tornado shot hit to the right, but it goes top right corner for him. Couldn't quite get the save. Who was that in the net? Bisho in the net. Brilliant in front of goal. Not so brilliant in his own.
Yeah,
and
just
now,
couldn't quite get the lift off that he needed, I think. He wanted to get the angle, send it to the corner, but it gives them a chance. This is still on the cards for Python. Last 15 seconds, wrong side of the field, but if Laroni can find the way through, Tornado is not quite in the right position to sequester through. Kendo to make it 3, make it 4 for his team, and secure game 2. Sunk the dagger deeper. Unfortunate for Python, but what are you going to say? They're authors of their own downfall at that point. All 3 in the wrong corner, no one at the back post anyway. But they just cannot seem to stop the ball getting into those danger areas, right on the edge of the box, right at the front post. They're leaving far too much space, and Mirage are occupying that every single time they see the chance. And it feels like they've got their number now. This was a much more controlled game, a much more considered performance in the second, and it just felt like Mirage started to figure it out so much quicker than they did in game 1. It was a lot closer in game 1. This one was not nearly as close, despite the fact that it was a two-goal game. I thought Python's finishes were more fortunate than anything, and I struggle to see how they can recover from this if they continue to play the way that they are.
Yeah, and I can't really argue any of your points, Vector. So Mirage just
do it anyway.
Fought
just
their way through.
Be the devil's advocate.
All right. So what did Python have going for them? I'm gonna have to try and unlock my G2 T-Bates copium levels here. So what did Python have going for them? They did score 2 goals, and they were forced off of mistakes off Mirage. And I think what they do have to do is try and find those forced mistakes and just cause them to, and just force them into causing their own problems. But other than that, I can't see many other ways apart from infield passes, maybe trying to find any open space that there is.
Well, I think what they had going for them was goal efficiency. They got 2 goals off of 4 shots, so they can finish the chances when they make them at the very least. Whether or not they're making enough depends on your philosophy. If you want to go for loads of shots because you think, well, you just got a higher chance of getting goals if you take more shots. But that also depends on your opponent. If Mirage are able to stop them, as they were able to more often than not, well, it's just not going to work. And they score far more goals than they concede. So that's not quite going to happen if Mirage have got anything to say about it. Of course, Patroid almost making us think that he wanted to gift Python an opening goal there, give them their first lead of the series, but takes it off his own post anyway. He knew it all along. He knew exactly where the ball was going. I'm sure he'll think that at the very least. As Kendo attempting to find 4th goal of the series, cannot quite do so. Be sure to follow up. Rare that he doesn't get a finish as well from a teammate's touch, as Python's defense is tested extremely early on in game 3. No surprise to see that here on Sovereign Heights as Tornado all the way down the field. Kendo just about escorts it to the sidewall. Can he finish it off? Laroni's there! Bottom left corner. First lead of the series for Ophiusa Esports. And what a way to do it. We've seen so many early goals in this series. It's getting kind of crazy.
Yeah, honestly, it would be nice to see a goal not scored in the first minute, but
Yeah, we need time.
This
Let
is
us think.
RSC. This is crazy. And now Tornado has a touch off his own sidewall. Tries to get this over towards his teammate. Martin can't quite get the read in the corner, but brilliant 50. He's going to fall straight down. Laroni's first to it.
Hold on.
Nice finish from Laroni.
Where's this guy come from? Former GM of Galamo Esports. Lighting it up here on Sovereign Heights. As someone picked up Laroni's controller, is this the same guy playing right now? Because he scored 2 goals in the first minute. 2 of them bangers, you've got to say. And Python, it's got to do him a world of good.
Yeah, both set up from Martin as well. Now they've got 4 minutes to slow down Mirage, but they're doing it spectacularly right now as they hunt for the 3rd goal. Maybe got a little bit too greedy as they now have to hustle back to their own corner. But Python hungry now. Maybe they got that drive back. Maybe the fact that they're only hunting for a draw is the only thing. Might not actually be setting them back, but the infield pass comes from Kendo. Patroid probably put that out for a throw-in, if anything, but Laroni now bangs this down the other end. And Mirage have to start all over again.
You don't know how hard it is for me to not be making snake puns right now. I can think of so many, they're just rolling through my head, and I have to ignore them. I have to let them go, because it's too easy. It's low-hanging fruit. As Python seem to be snapping back here in Game 3, desperate to not be dominated throughout this entire series. Of course, they already lost 2 series and won 1 of their own, so they have tasted victory. They know what it feels like, and they want to do it again. That's sweet ambrosia. And of course, Mirage, not wanting to be outdone, will find their way through unless Laroni somehow gets the pre-jump save. That was just desperation. He didn't know when that shot was coming in. Just rose and hope, and it worked out. That's his first save of the game, and an important one here as we hit the halfway mark. 2-goal lead still maintained. Could they make it 3? Yes, they can. Killer to get the 3rd, set up by Laroni as well. What a revelation that he has been for this team in Game 3, and the first 3-goal lead of the series as well. What a statement to make here on Sovereign Heights.
Yeah, and maybe Python built for the streets, surrounded on this grassroots pitch in this grassroots league, but they're showing they're showing signs of promise as this ceiling pinch. Easy touch for Bisho, but not actually executed as well as maybe he thought he would. And now this ball just banging around
chaotic.
ping pong in the midfield. Yeah, chaotic is the correct term. And now Bisho will look for a shot, trying to fight their way back. They've got 2 minutes to do it. Infield pass comes from Martin, but none of his teammates there to receive. Actually ends up going to Kendo. But good challenge, good fast challenge from Tornado. Could be a free shot. No, Patroid up the other end, and Martin is left alone. He will be first to it. And as the time winds down, Mirage, what have they got to do to figure this out? Because Python are just suddenly playing like a different breed. They've gone from a corn snake to a cobra.
Well, as we were mentioning, on Forbidden Temple, you elucidated it well. The times that they were just leaving far too much space on the edge of their box, as they do here. They could get punished by the same errors if they find a way out of this one. This is, well, they've won Game 3 just off of that. I'm going to call it right now, because if that doesn't go in, what will? Somehow Python have shot up the defense so well that Mirage, I mean, they've had plenty of shots. They've had 7. But they still cannot find a way through. Python's defense has obviously changed it up and recognized the errors that they were making. And what a way to do it. They could find the 4th. Laroni off the post, off both posts, is going to be rolling on the goal line and is eventually put in by an opponent. But this was just, I mean, this was comedy. This is so unfortunate for Mirage.
Oh, dear God. This actually did register as a pull shot there, but I think that one had to go in. I think that was going to slowly creep in with no time for anyone to get to it. So ending his own misery, it seems there. But here we go. Yeah, Game 3 pretty much done and dusted. But we'll have to see if Mirage can come back to form and take the win as people would have been expecting.
Well, 7 shots, 0 goals. Make that 8. I was going to make a Snake Eyes joke, but they ruined it. Doesn't matter. They still lost the game. 4-0 deficit. That's quite huge for Game 3. Whether or not Python could continue to do this in Game 4, if Mirage really switch it up, really reset the breakers here, and make sure this doesn't happen again. Of course, only time will tell, as it always does. But what it has told is that Mirage will not be sweeping this series still. Onus on them, still likely that they're to take it in a 3-1, but I'm starting to be less confident about my prediction, despite the fact that Python have just won a game. This could end up going to a draw. And I said it at the start, 1st and 10th makes no difference. It's not really relevant in week 2. It's just far too early to tell exactly where these teams should be ending up in the power rankings before the season began. I believe Mirage was 10th in the entire division of Rival, and Python was 17th, sort of living up to expectations in the overall, but Mirage doing better early on. They've only lost 1 game here, but it was to a 4-0 margin, so it's surprising to see, considering the amount of shots they had as well. Python did really well, much better on defense than they have in the previous 2 games. Can they continue to play like this, Kieran, or do you just see this snapping straight back in their face?
Well, you know what I think caused the difference for Python, Victor? I think it was that early goal that gave them something. They had their lead so quickly. We'll see if there can be another quick goal, or if it's going to be a slugfest, because it seems like whoever gets the first goal builds up momentum throughout the game, and we end up getting a lot of sort of late goals as it was in Game 2. But ramping up momentum and then evening out, but we'll see. I think whoever gets the first goal takes this series. Well, takes this game, and then we'll see how the result of the series ends up after that. But here we go, final game. Can Python take a sort of upset draw, as it would appear by the table, or will Mirage continue their brilliant form and going 4-0? Only time will tell, as we've said so many times in this hour. But now Martin, brilliant play through 2 players. Tries to get a 50, it goes out to the right. Laroni there to follow. Now Kendo gets the first touch. And Bisho trying to follow this up into the corner. Sends it to the midfield. Troy's there. And another early goal. We're not going to get a game where we can't go a minute without goal.
It's just guaranteed at this point. Yeah, that is beautiful. That's a great setup by Bisho, gotta say. The guy that's been scoring all the setups has finally got an assist to his name.
Yeah, finally, and it seems like we're back to it. 1 goal. I did say that I think Mirage can take this, but we'll see if Python can step it up, because they had a threatening first attack as Laroni tries to send this towards the net. Just about blocked out by Pastroid. Martin on the backboard. Bisho needs to get a solid touch, and does. Now Laroni puts this midfield via a pinch to his teammate Tornado, who does another pinch all the way down the field. Pastroid will have time to collect this, but Tornado comes to steal his boost. Martin once again down the field. Kendo infield. Piscio downfield. And then finally sets to the mid. Who's first to that Patroid to the back wall? Can he double this in? Not quite.
Smart defense from Laroni. Recognized. If you can't get the first touch, at least be there for the follow. It's both Killer and Patroid fly past this ball. It's just sent hurtling back down the field. Kendo's going to leave this. It's dangerous. It's going to be falling to Laroni. Weak shot. But it still pulled 3 defenders to get rid of it. Mirage desperate to maintain this lead. They know how threatening that Python can be now. They've scored 4 goals against them without reply. And as you mentioned, confidence is key in this game. Momentum is so important. And the fact that Mirage have got the opening goal can make so much difference. Let's see if Python can fight back, rally themselves, and salvage something from this series. Get their first draw of the season, it would be. But I think they'll just be more concerned about avoiding their 3rd loss of the season here already in week 2. Which we'll have to see, as this one's popped back to the midfield. Laroni with a wide open back end. Send this to, it's going to be into the midfield, but no one's there, and it almost seems like Python are not trusting each other when they go on the counter. They're desperate to sit back and make sure Mirage can't punish them. That's not the way that they need to think in this final game. They need to get aggressive.
Yeah, exactly. They need to start being that bully, making sure they're getting clear out the way as Bisho has another touch off the ceiling. Who's first to this? It's even Stevens, but oh, Tornado, not the kind of miss he would have wanted.
Oh.
Actually does get some solid 50s out. Martin now under pressure. Kendo runs out of boost to get there. Martin now infield.
Oh.
Tornado is missed again.
Has to hit that. That's such an incredible opportunity all the way down the field. Tornado pulled the handbrake and stopped 2 on the line, and then glorious chance wasted. Back down the other end. Killer's just going to send this to Patroy. He's got plenty of chance to send it forward. Both his teammates rotating, however. He keeps this in dangerous places. There's Tornado to flick it to the midfield. Laroni's there, but not nearly quickly enough as Bisho is trying to keep that pressure on. Dissuade Python any sort of thought of getting back down the field. Keep them penned in. Keep them downtrodden in the dirt where they cannot look up. See the stars here. The midnight moonlight of Beckwith Park. Can Patra make it 2? It's going to be through both defenders. 2-goal lead. Python have not come back from this throughout the entire series. Is the same thing going to happen?
I'm not sure if you saw that, but Bisho got the demo onto Killer on the back line, which opened up that space for the shot to come through, and now Python have a minute and a half to get 2 goals and send this to overtime at a minimum. Even then, a win wouldn't be secured. After a momentous comeback like that, what a save from Laroni. I wasn't sure if that was actually going in the first place, but either way, it's away from the goal, which is where you want it. If you're on the orange half, I think the boys in blue will be disappointed that one hasn't found their way in, probably securing this game in this series. But Tornado out towards the left. Tornado banging shot. Bisho low gets a save, sends it to the right. Tornado now, one more. Up to the backboard. Actually, pass down to
rolling in.
Gonna sneak in top right. Killer, Martin, whatever you want to call him.
Call him a goal scorer.
Call him
a talisman. Something to hang on to. A shining spark for Python. Starting to think that Mirage were the honey badger, that they were just eating them all up. Not caring about the snake bites, but it's getting closer and closer to Python's chance here to take it to the first over the time of the series. It would be. We've been here before, of course. 2-1 in the first game. It was the opener. This very same scoreline. Now with the final 30 seconds, will history repeat itself? Or will Python change the script? As Tornado with a free chance takes far too much time. He should have just hit that, but he wanted to wait, and it's gone all the way back down. They save it on the line once again, but Patroy with a free shot will force Laroni to send it high, just giving more and more opportunity to Mirage. There's 10 seconds left, possession in favor of them. Be sure to keep it alive as well. Tornado just can't get out of their own half. They're penned in so much. Killer can launch it, but it's just going to be spiked by Kendo to make it 3 wins for Mirage. Oh my goodness. So many incredible opportunities for Python there. Some of their passing was pristine at the end. Laroni with some great chances. Only 2 shots registered on target, but it felt like so many more. And they just couldn't find their way through. I mean, Mirage, they completely laid down in Game 3. I don't know what happened. I'd have to go back and analyze it. I'd have to see the details, get down to the brass tacks inside the engine and figure out what was going on there. But here in Game 4, they were back to their old ways, their stronger ways. And despite it being so close, I think they still had control of this. They didn't seem nervous. They didn't seem like they were scrambling or being desperate in most areas of the field. They had that measure of control. And they just about got it over the line. Still, commiserations to Python. They put up an incredible fight. They just got outplayed at the end of the day.
Well, the good news for Python is they haven't come away with nothing. They've taken a game off the table toppers, but well, brilliant display there from the boys from Illusory. But Mirage will end week 2 4-0, and 0 will still be topping their table as no one else has managed to achieve that record. But lovely start there, out there from Mirage. Great way to kick off the season, and we'll see if they can continue that form throughout this. They were power ranked 10th, but they're looking like they're going to be showing all the people who predicted that wrong.
We saw glimpses of their weaknesses and the way to exploit them in Game 3. It was clear to see it was the biggest scoreline that we saw throughout the whole series, a 4-0 deficit. Whether or not that was just Laroni popping off, being such a catalyst for his team, somehow unlocking himself for at least a single game. He still played well in Game 4, but got muted a lot more than he did in the third. Maybe it was just a blip on the radar for Mirage's sake. Still the only team, the only team left that has a perfect record in their division. I'm not going to spend the time to go through all the divisions to check if they're the only team. It's unlikely, but
They're not.
still, it's very, very well played from them early in this season, as you said, especially on stream where it can be difficult to maintain that level of performance. You can be very good offline. Well, they're still online technically. What I mean by offline is on stream. It's a lot more nerve-inducing, as you said yourself. At the very beginning of this series, it seemed like they didn't quite have that control yet. They weren't quite as disciplined as they might have been throughout the series. Second game, completely in control. Third game, don't know what happened there. Everything went out the window. It was completely unpredictable, as is Rival as a tier in itself. So, yeah, what a great series to start off the night with, Kieran. It's been a quite enjoyable one. I am happy I got my prediction right, though I am sad that Python didn't get the draw because it felt like they maybe just about deserved it. I really wanted an overtime as well. I'm upset that we didn't get one.
I am also quite sad that we didn't get an overtime. But one more thing to point out is, in terms of goal difference, that was 0 across the board. I think 1 goal lead.
Dead tie.
1 goal lead for Mirage in the first game. Then they had 2 in the second game, meaning that they were, 3 goals up, and then suddenly Python come out of nowhere, scored 4, and it's actually 1 in their favour, and then a 1 goal deficit for Mirage in the final game means that they're even Stevens when it comes to their goal difference, which at the start of the league, in the first few weeks, can actually decide quite a bit of where you are in the standings, but obviously towards the end of the season it doesn't really come to fruition. But we'll see if any of that matters much later in a couple of months. But that is it from me. Enjoy the rest of your stream to everyone, and thank you for having me, Vector 5 First Cast. Quite enjoyed it myself.
As did I. Thank you for joining me, Kieran. Of course, as you said, we will still be continuing on, myself, and I've actually forgotten who it is. I apologize to that caster, but we'll see who it is when we come back. It'll be a nice surprise to see, but we do know who's playing up next. It will continue to be in the rival tier. Up next, we have Council of Sirs Knights and Visionaries Mystics to get through the middle of the stream with. We hope you enjoyed the first series. Stick around because we will be back very soon with some more RSC action.
This company's making me crazy.
Good evening, one and all, and welcome back to the RSC EU Season 13, Week 2 of League Play. My name is Vector, alongside me, Liquid Sight, the crazy Canadian, as I like to think of him. We've not casted for a long time, Liquid, but I'm hoping that this rival series, this next one up on the docket, Knights versus Mystics, will be an incredible one. If you are just joining us, you did narrowly miss out on the first match of the night, another rival series. That one went the way of, I believe it was Python versus, what was their name? Mirage, that was it. Illusory. Thank you so much, Liquid, for helping me out there. Went 3-1 to Mirage. They took down them. But we are still in the same division, the same conference. This time, however, the gap's a little bit smaller. Instead of 1st versus 10th, it is 7th versus 6th. I'm looking forward to it, Liquid.
Yeah, this is going to be an interesting lineup. I just want to say I watched the first game as well. That first game was a nail biter with almost a 0-second goal and a save against the post. I mean, that whole series was fantastic. And rival series, you always get a little bit of unpredictability. It is fantastic to see because these players are developing. They're usually around 1,1600 points MMR. So it's fantastic to see how they grow, getting more accurate, getting more power. And sometimes you find that special person is able to pull off those amazing plays, whether it's an inbound pass or just a solo play against a couple of players. I'm very excited. I think in this matchup, because you were talking to me off stream about how Knights, they are a bit of a powerhouse here with a lot of players in the power rankings as some of the top players in the power rankings. I'm going to vote. I love the underdog story. I'm going to go and cheer on the Mystics. However, I think we still have to give fair play to the Knights and recognize them. So although I'm cheering for the Mystics in this lineup, I think it's going to be a 2-2 match. I'm going to go one step further and actually say I think Mystics is going to take the first one and the fourth one. That's what I'm going to say.
Very, very interesting. It's difficult for me to decide. Easy to say that the Knights have got the run of things here. You were mentioning the statistical power rankings, as they're known, in the stats database. All three, I say all three. One of the players that actually subbed up was a challenger player, Ronan, for the challenger roster of Council of Sur. Subbed up is now top 11 in the statistical power rankings for the rival tier. Of course, only played 4 games. The main roster player, Caf, not Caf. It was someone else. Saw it a moment ago, and I've already forgotten it. Cubics, that was it. He's only played 2 games for the lineup. Avi and Mac, however, 7th and 8th in statistical power rankings, and they both played all 12 of their games, and pretty good stats considering they're in second. And I would be surprised if they're not playing tonight. I expect them to be the difference makers. And despite the fact that they are royalty in the Council of Sur, the Knights on the field, we also have a regent, a regal form in the name of Avelios on the other side, on Mystics. King Avelios, I like to think of him, because he was at the ERSC Landemonium not long ago. We mentioned it the first series of the night. I'm going to mention it again. Why? Because he is the champion of that LAN event as well. So he has got an incredible winning pedigree. Was along Ols, to be fair, one of the best players that we've seen in the RSC in the Premier tier, but he contributed massively. I've always seen him as a striker, as a finisher. And that's what I expect to see from him tonight as well, as we do have all the players in the lobby running a little bit late. So we'll get started as quickly as we possibly can. But my prediction, you think that Mystics take game 1 and game 4, so you're assuming this is going to be a 2-2 draw.
I do.
I think Mystics take this one. I think a 3-1, despite the fact there are differences in the table. Mystics have, I think, lost 2 of their opening series. I'm not quite sure. I think they won the first 2, lost 1. That's in 6th. Knights, a little bit better, but I think Mystics have this on the day. I think that Avelios is just very, very strong as a player. Caf coming in, Maui as well, the main roster player. So I think they take this 3-1. Still going to be very narrow. My tune might change as the series goes on, as it often does, as we get more information. But we'll just have to see. I hope, above all, that it is an entertaining series.
You know what they say though, Vecta, about Avelios. So I mean, you're putting him up on a pedestal, but the saying is, "Heavy is the crown."
True enough. True enough. It's one that I suppose I struggle to argue with. That heavy is the crown, but it also is on your head for a reason. You know, you can handle that pressure. Counselor Sir, they're full of crowns. It is their entire franchise identity. I don't think they quite have the regal pedigree that Avelios will bring to the field tonight, though.
Find out today whether it's a copper crown or if it's a gold one. I think they are starting to fill the field, so we are going to start this next exciting match. And I always think the first kickoff really sets the tone. So we're going to find out here if everyone has their nerves calm, their hands on the wheel, and if we're going to see a kickoff goal or not.
Apparently not, as all that build-up for very little payoff is wonderful to see. It turns out the crown was copper. I just have to see if either of these sides can transmute that metal into to some shining gold for their side. Already some aggression from the Mystics, getting disruptive, getting demoed, getting rough. It's not worked to much avail, however, as AB taking this all the way across. Maui as the last man takes it off the line. Easy chance for Mac to send this guy, but that's going to be dancing down awkwardly. Mac ends up actually making this easier for Mystics to deal with. Clears it himself as Caf down to the backboard, cannot recover in time. That's a risky play from AB, does work out, and it's just constant back and forth already here in this rival matchup.
We've often seen at this tier, the first couple minutes are just definitely feeling each other out. There has been an amazing amount of demos on the field. I'm always excited to see that. The explosions tend to make a lot of space. But like you're saying, no one's really taken a whole lot of control. The ball has been bouncing back and forth. There's been great rotations, but there hasn't been like a whole lot of constant pressure. As we see Mac here trying to receive that pass, unable to get on the other side of it. And Sad Monkey has to try and make a play, leaving Avery as the last man back. He slows it down just enough. Avelios was hunting there, and he's going to meet Mac in the midfield. He has a lot of boost, but where did he come from to just completely disrupt that play?
Mac! That was sneaky! I don't know what... I mean, you're talking about where the defender, the man in the midfield came from. Where did Mac come from here? Treadmills it off the front bumper. No one in the back line for Mystics is able to escort that off the line. I think it was Avelios or Maui at the back there. Whoever has the Dominus. In fact, it was Caf. The one person I didn't mention was I was 1 out of 3 chance. I got it wrong. Okay, don't hold it against me. Hold it against Mystics, their team, because they've just conceded. Terrible defense. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think Caf had a whole lot of just trust in his teammate in order to clear that, but nobody knew that Mac was just lurking among them and was able to, like you said, all 4 wheels on that. There's another beautiful shot from Mac again. Can't let me finish my thought here, but Mac was able to just get that shot in. Again, Mac being able to get all of that power on. It wasn't the fastest goal, but it certainly was a hard angle to get a hard shot from.
And yet, found his way through and has again pick up his brace rather quickly, even before the halfway mark. Could have a first half hat-trick if he's lucky. Could get this one again. AV could be there for the disruption. Maui opts to go for it first, as Mac does extremely well to get that back to himself, but then just fluffs it at the last second and cannot find the hat-trick that I was mentioning. And it would have been huge for his Knights side to to get that consolidation, that control. First game always important, especially on stream. You want to get it out early. You want to start off raring and ready to go. Clearly Knights have here as a huge pinch to the midfield. We'll just reset play for a moment. It's Mac to pick it up once more. Great 50. We'll leave this for Sad Monkey. Can only pop it up. Maui doesn't have the boost, and Avi's realized, but it's off the post. That has to go in. How did he miss that?
Just unfortunate. I think a lot of people were expecting the ball to go one way, and it just didn't bounce out. The player didn't hit it, and you just misread it. Maybe it's jitters. Who knows? As we see, both Mystics players not able to get that ball as they both went up for it. Sad Monkey's going to collect it up the wall. He's got a little bit of space. He gets one off the player, off the ceiling, throws it against the net. Still not dangerous enough as Maui is in there to disrupt, steal the boost, and Avery gets eliminated by Calf. Maui back in play. Oh no, he's still there. He took Avery down again. I guess he wasn't done. Avery's turning himself into a punching bag as Mac is dangerous. Almost got a double touch there. It is an empty net as Sad Monkey makes no mistakes to put that in. And look, even Avery was lurking there just in case something went awry.
I guess no one told Mystics that we're playing Rocket League, because at the moment it's Demolition Derby. Like, they're just hunting people. And as much as we can appreciate the disruption, the demoing, it has to be considered and it has to be deliberate rather than just doing it because it's fun. Maybe they're doing it because it's fun, I don't know. Maybe it's just to annoy their opponents, but it's clearly not working. It has to be part of a greater plan. It can't just be the only thing that you do because, well, you're using a lot of boost and you're wasting position, it feels like, a lot of the time when you go for demos. And it can slow you down as well if you don't do it well enough. It can really mess up your rotation if you just opt for that kind of play. So they need to be more considered about other areas of the field. That was a decent effort by Calf to take out the second man, but the first was it's already back in position to take it off the post. And a 3-goal lead at this point of the game is pretty much writing on the wall here, Liquid. And it seems as though you're wrong. Mystics will not take the first.
I am definitely eating my own words here, and I think I was trying to think of what game Mystics might actually be playing, and I came to the conclusion that perhaps this is boxing. You know, this is round 1 of boxing, and instead of going for headshots and scoring,
I don't think they're making it to the second round.
Well, you know, instead of going for the headshots and scoring goals here, they're just pummeling to the solar plexus, right? They're going for the demos. They're in for the long game. So who knows? Who knows? But this is the closest remedy that I can think of. Avery does a great job there.
It's all well and good. They're trying to knock down the stamina, but right now they don't have a head on their shoulders. They're completely demolished in game 1. 4 goals to Knight. 2 shots from Mystics. That's all they've had, and only a single save. They seriously need to step up here. My prediction is starting to look dire, as they will need to win their next 3 games if they are to fulfill that prophecy. I may have cursed them. I'll be honest. I'll hold my hands up and say the pedestal I held Evelios up on may be crumbling, but it's not down yet. Knights, they've taken a huge step in this series, and they could be pushing it ever further up towards the top of the table. Of course, their close rivals in first, Mirage, did take a 3-1 victory tonight. It's too early in the season to tell whether or not this is a huge difference maker. Of course, every single game matters. That is the whole point of the RSC, of the 4-game series system. Mm-hmm. Every single game will matter at the end of the season, and you can't think at the start that, you know, it doesn't matter if you don't do well in your first few weeks. Every single game matters. Every single series matters. And Knights will be well aware of that, as will Mystics. So what do they need to do? What is the fundamental stuff that they need to change to, at the very least, make sure they don't concede 4 goals, but also to start making their own mark on the offensive side?
Watching that game, I would say that Mystics were bunched up. They didn't have proper spacing compared to Knights. Knights were so well-rounded there. They had great positioning. Mac had some very, very good reads, was able to predict how Mystics was going to move the ball, and I thought it was very well done. I think if Mystics, you know, they keep up their aggression, they maintain their demo plays, I don't think they were too bad. just there wasn't the proper support because the positioning wasn't in the right spot. And Knights were just doing that much better of a job. So I think that's going to be a difference maker in this game if they're able to shore that up. But we'll see. I mean, Knights were really sneaky in scoring that first goal. And here we see Maui throw that one up, and both Knights go up for it. So they've already got them on a little bit of field. Maui is back into the play with full boots, but as we see, there's no support from Mystics. Calf is going to try and throw this into the corner and get another touch. He's able to steal the boost. So there is a bit of a pressure here. There's some reprieve there as Mac is able to get it all down to the other end. But Mystics are pouring this on. I don't think there is a chance for Knights to breathe as we see Avery's on the back post and Maui's trying to make a play. Evelios is going to throw it away. Unfortunate, so this gives Sad Monkey a chance to pick it up. Mac double teamed into the corner. Sad Monkey and Avery collide in which way the ball should go, right in front of the goal line. And I think this is turning in to a different game from the first one.
Yeah, I don't think it's been in the red half this entire first minute. Credit to Mystics, clearly changing things up in the aggression. I think that's the first time it's broken the midfield line, and it goes straight back the other way. Never mind, ping pong, as there is a big early chance for Knights here. Evelios is called to stop this on the line. Used to be him being a goal scorer, but he's got plenty on the defensive side to show as well. You were mentioning not letting Knights breathe. That's exactly the way that Mystics want to play. Keep them penned back and disrupt, as you were saying, that flow that they have in rotation and an understanding of each other's positioning so that they can occupy so much more space on the field and create opportunities in that manner. So just keep the ball close, then there's a lot less threat that can be leveled against Mystics. It's Calf first to the ball here. Launches it far side. Evelios trying 50 this to mid, does perfectly. Two players commit. That's going to hit straight to the backboard, and Calf is going to miss. Switching off to the Octane here for game two. Wasn't quite as comfortable in the dominance it seems as AB with plenty of time, but Maui right there pre-jumps that yesterday to get to it as exactly what you need to see, that aggression and that confidence, knowing that they can get a stop before Knights can even develop anything, before they can start thinking about the next play. They have to get on top of it. As a triple commit from Knights. That was very strange to see, completely unforced, and if that continues to happen, I think Mystics might have a way through.
Yeah, it's interesting to see how they're being a little bit more stressed. The Knights are being more stressed in this game. As still we see though, some of the plays,
Still on.
Still develop from Knights. They are able to turn it around. One thing I will say is, even though the Knights seem a little bit disorganized, when they get set up, they hit the ball to each other. They can find each other. There was a lot of pressure in that first 2 minutes from Mystics, but they weren't finding each other. They were controlling the ball. They were digging it out of the corner. It was getting across the net, but the plays weren't going to their players. They were just winning the little battles. And here we see, just right off the kickoff, it was almost a really quick 1-2-3, but nothing really came out of it. Evelios has to get back as he is under pressure from Avery, gets knocked off the wall, and the Knights are going to concede this pressure as Calf is able to pick it up. Nice little fake there to slow play it. He's got someone midfield, not able to get it all the way across as Avery has a clean clear, and Sad Monkey is going to try and send it out to Avery. He's got no boost. Mac takes over, and this is just going to be a transitional play that I think is going to go right back into the Knights' end.
Yeah, Mac breaking the deadlock may be the thing that breaks the camel's back here in favor. Well, not favor. In deficit, should we say. What's the opposite of favor? Completely forgot. You know what I mean. I'm saying that Mystics have conceded a second goal here. Sad Monkey to be the ones to do it. Breaking that deadlock was obviously important, but it's thrown Mystics for a loop, just as it did in the first game. Remember, Mac scored the first as well. This time around, it was a lot more direct, a lot more forceful. Knights were just throwing everything at the defenders. Eventually, it went into a favorable position for the third man. The defense couldn't adjust. Evelios, could he get this one through? Shot across the bow. Will not spook the roost. Easy enough for Knights to keep that one out, and it's just going straight back towards the same thing as it did in game one. Very little from the Mystics, still only on 2 shots, and now with the final minute dawning upon them, 2 goals is closer. They've given themselves more of a chance, but they need to start scoring. Could they find one here? Put high and wide. You have to finish that, Cap.
That was the one they needed. that was the rallying type goal that needed to happen there, because not only did Mystics have such strong pressure in that first 2 minutes,
Gotta go in.
but
There it is.
They were not able to score. So while it wears down the Knights, for you having that constant pressure, you get worn out because nothing is coming out of it. Kudos to Caf and Evelios for moving that play down, and they're on the board. So now this is a 1-goal game. This is within reach. You have the momentum. You've answered at least. You have an opportunity here from the kickoff there. It kind of went your way, as I think Caf had boost. Maui didn't get the touch he wanted there, and Avery was up early. Caf not able to get the double touch. Maui's going to clean it up. I think there's a little confusion on who's open the ball here, and Knight is going to send it down the other way.
That's a lot of time wasted. It took 9.5 minutes for Mystics to find their way through the blue side.
Wow.
Now they're only going to get 10 seconds to try and equalize this up. Caf cannot get past his first man. Villas will be there to touch it over, but it's just going to be so easy for Sad Monkey to make himself happy and spike the ball in his own half. Knights a lot closer this time around. A 2-1, 1-goal game. It didn't necessarily feel as though Mystics had the greatest of opportunities in this one. Of course, still only 3 shots. They are getting very, very few chances on the blue side, and I'm surprised to see it, considering what I know about Evelios. I've watched Caf and Maui play before, not as much as Evelios, but he finishes a lot more chances than he creates, it feels like, despite the fact he has an assist. You know, the stats just make him look like a fool, as they often do. But it also makes Mystics look like a fool, because they had some good opportunities and they couldn't capitalize on the pressure that they had. They had an entire minute spent in the first in the first minute. They spent that entire time in the blue half, in the Knights side, and they got very little from it. They got pretty much nothing from it. And the Knights, they just kind of bided their time and waited till they got the clearer chances. They got more shots, but they still had better opportunities, and they created a lot more clinically rather than just hoping that doing something crazy on the offensive side. As we saw from the first game, Mystics, they were very much down on the disruption play, on demoing, on getting it under Knight's skin and trying to disrupt them. Didn't work. They tried to change it up, get more aggressive, specifically with the ball. Didn't work. What more must they do in Sovereign Heights here? What little adjustment do they have to make to get this engine ticking? Well,
that's the kind of moment that you just kind of hang your head in shame here. Unfortunate that that kickoff went that way. Kudos to Sad Monkey, obviously solo play right from a kickoff. Congratulations, nothing to take away from you. But like I said, I'm on Team Mystics here. You know, I'm rooting for the underdog, because based on the statistics, they're the ones that are potentially going to lose. Caf almost able to get that in the corner. Evelios not able to get that all the way across. What I will say is I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I didn't think that the second game that Mystics were that bunched up. I thought they were a lot more coordinated, but Mac is still a big difference maker out there. He is making space for the Knights, and the Knights are just that much more accurate on their shots.
Oh, good demo. Has to go in. What? How?
No power. There was no power there.
How many windows must they provide? Caf did everything right. Puts it to the backboard, gets rid of the defender. Maui must finish that. And I mean, it's a struggle, of course. He said lack of power, but he was under no pressure. There was no defender. Wide open net, which I will concede, one of the hardest things to score on is an open net. There's no doubt about that. But in this situation, you've got to be putting those away as Caf attempts to level this to the top right corner. Easy enough for the defense to deal with. There's just very little follow-up. I mean, there is a lot of merit to be had for Knight's defense. They're making sure it's not easy to get these shots away, as that one's incredibly off the line by Maui, redeeming himself for a lackluster performance on the front end. At the back does keep that one out and keep this one close at the very least. Zavelios is left in such an awkward position. There's no way that's going to go in. Mac made them all look like fools for a moment. As wide as Sun Monkey faked this one out to leave it for Evie. I don't know what's going on anymore, but I do know that Knights have once again found a 2-goal lead.
I don't know what to say either. I think silence is probably the proper response.
This is chaos.
In what we just watched.
No way,
Okay.
Well,
That's
Let's
what
just-
you need if you're Mystics, though. You know what?
I'm
It
throwing
doesn't
out the
ma-
script. It's
it
gone.
doesn't-
It's out the window.
It doesn't have to be a pretty goal. It doesn't have to be a well thought out goal. It just has to be a goal. And they got that one. They didn't get the open net. They didn't get the well played demo, you know. But you know what? They get that one. Awesome. You got 3.5 minutes now. You need one more to start to have a chance to fight and survive here.
What? Okay, I think Maui just had a carrot in his hand because he led all 3 defenders across to the far post. Where is everyone going? There's very little communication there. Someone has to stay at the back post just in case it sneaks through. No one even committed to it. Caf was reversing. He pulled the handbrake and just went backwards to try and do something, anything. You can clearly see that there's very little coordination between these 3 players, which it pains me to say and to see, because I know that they're capable of doing better. They're just, I can't quite fathom what it is. They've got a goal, and that is good. They're not going to be, completely shut out. It's not going to be a clean sheet for Knights, but it's not enough, and they're barreling towards a 4-0 sweep despite how much time is left in this game. I have very little faith at this point in Mystics. I thought they were going to 3-1 this series. It's looking the exact opposite.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well that Knights they have put on a better game. They have been far more cohesive than Mystics. And Caf, every time I have something to say about one team, the other team scored. So, kudos for you guys for listening and
That's
shutting
quite nice.
me up. That was
I'll-
a fantastic read and hit
I'll
from
admit,
Caf
I think
there.
he got the reset off the ball, then unnecessarily flicked it into the net. But Caf has been the only goal scorer, I believe, for the Mystics this entire series. Got the one on Forbidden Temple. Not Forbidden Temple. Is it Forbidden Temple? Yeah, it was Forbidden Temple. Got the kickoff goal here and this one off the back wall, and is keeping them in it at the very least. It feels like he's dragging Caf and Maui even, and Avelios kicking and screaming towards the overtime. Whether or not they can clinch it, entirely different question. And Knights, maybe a little bit of sweat forming on their brows.
It's got to be the biggest difference maker. Again, we just saw it in the last play before you had a very long solitude there. That Knights are able to find each other. When they're hitting the ball, they're not just hitting the ball. And it feels like when Mystics are touching the ball, they're just trying to move the ball down the field. Oh, here's an unfortunate. That was a very, very well done save by Avelios. He had to dodge his teammate and get on the inside of the ball.
Oh, that's got to go in. Yes! Finally, Avelios comes to the fore. Beautiful double tap, even though it was off the ground. This is what we were looking for. And by the way, soliloquy, my favorite word. I'm glad that you said that. And it has made me a lot more happy about this series. 3-3 now. 6 goals in Game 3 on Sovereign Heights. The high rise is rising right now, especially for Caf. Is looking to make an incredible play. Actually fakes out 2 defenders by the looks of things, and Avelios to try and follow, but the third man on Knights was ready and waiting. Avelios with the weak touch. Sam Monkey gets the touch as well. Avelios somehow back to this one. Finds its way through all 3 defenders, but the 4th man, the post, the woodwork rattles, comes to the rescue of the Knights. As in the final minute and overtime looms, and I'm lost for words. As I say a lot of words, I'm still lost for them, Liquid, because this is insanity. It's rival and I expect this. It's extremely unpredictable, but what is happening anymore?
Every time that we think we have a handle on the game, we don't. And you have to think that that's happening on the field as well. Every time they think they have a handle on how the game's going to go, it doesn't. As we see there, Mac makes a space. He takes all 3 defenders out of the play, and there's no chance. I mean, Avery had to put it between the goalposts there, so there's a lot of chance to error. But at that point, you're basically shooting at point blank. 4-3. This is the closest they've come.
No way. What? Okay. I was about to say that my Barnsley brethren, Simdog, the herald, the cheerleader of this Council of Sir, and Knight's team would have been grinning ear to ear following Avi's brace. But then a kickoff happens, and you know what that means? That means a goal. As another one comes through for Maui here, 4-4 with 10 seconds left. If this isn't overtime, I will eat my hat. I'm not wearing one, but I will find one and I will eat it as Mac launches it down the field. AV off the side wall, gonna bounce down unless Avelios wants to roll the dice. Ends up actually falling on this side of the field, and we have overtime finally on game 3 of this ridiculous series. Which way does this go?
I don't know. I was very confused by Cap's play just then. Okay, that was a short game.
That's the way it goes.
Off the kickoff, it looked like Cap missed the ball completely and then circled around, couldn't get the boost. That was just really strange. I almost want to download the replay to see what happened in those last 10 seconds, but it was very, very... Did someone pay someone off? Did someone else write a different script for this? Like you said, I am very confused on how this game is going, because every time it seems like momentum and you can see how the game develops, all of a sudden the whole field has a brain aneurysm and everything falls apart and it turns into absolute and utter chaos.
I mean, I said halfway through the script was out the window. It didn't exist anymore. It was pointless because clearly it didn't go that way. I mean, I didn't read it to the end. I didn't know exactly who was supposed to win. But it is Knights. They have won the series, 3 at the very least. Whether or not Mystics can recover from this, I believe one of the players on Knights said they needed a moment to go get some refreshment, which I could completely understand after that game. It just, I don't know, do Mystics have the grit after that? It felt like that was the game they should have won, the amount of goals that they scored, but it felt like, you know, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Every single time they scored, they conceded. And despite the fact that it went to overtime, I still didn't fully believe that they had the wherewithal and the resilience to get it over the line. And that is what happened. Knights just, for one reason or another, for one weird magical moment or misery in Mystics approximation, they had the better of their opponents just about enough. I was expecting a 10-goal game. We got 9, and I can't be too greedy. So we'll have to see if Knights can close this out in a 4-0 on the Dark Lights of Beckwith Park.
Maybe this will just be one of those games where it's a 1-goal game. They battle it out for another 4 minutes, and they just
maybe
just turns into a 1-goal game. That was almost the 1 goal there, as I think the Knights player, the backflip just moved the ball ever so slightly, so it came off the wrong part of. Mac just got uppercut between 2 players. Not letting that man touch the ball anymore. Avery's got lots of boost. He's trying to get it to Mac. 3 jumps at, not able to get the biggest piece on it, and Avery still got a lot of control. Maybe Mystics can try back passing. Maybe that's the difference maker of this game. I don't know. It just seems...
Otherwise known as shooting at their own net, which is a very risky thing to do. As risk-averse Knights are not, they take this one off their own line. I want to hark back to something that I noticed in the Twitch chat. Simdog, I mentioned him already. It was a 4-0 in the first game. He said that was foreshadowing the series, the 4-0. And I was more than happy to... I would have said it. I didn't get a chance to say it. I wanted to try and curse it because funny. And that may still be the case here now that I've mentioned it, but it's a lot less likely considering what even happened on Sovereign Heights. I mean, neither side understood how defense worked, and so we got 9 goals, and now CAF is going to be missing this one. One was under pressure. That's a wide open net at the back line. Can Sad Monkey get the pace? Doesn't have the boost, unfortunately for him, but 50 not won by Avelios. No one wants to commit to this for whatever reason. Was Avelios just bumped by his own teammate there? I couldn't quite see what was going on, but he got sent to the other side of the stratosphere. And Sad Monkey to try and keep it through the corner. Still 0 goals. It's shades of the second game. Was that a save?
Yes. That was right up against the post.
Ah! Oh my goodness! What's going on? You called it. It's going to be a 1-goal game, and it's going to be the stupidest thing we've ever seen on a Rocket League field to do it, as that was a nailed-on goal, saved by his own teammate. This one finally goes through. Mac, who has been the Mac throughout this entire series, has been the difference maker, as you mentioned, for Knights. I mean, the biggest difference maker. There's been so many difference makers throughout this. Every single player has made a difference in some way, shape, or form. They've all scored at some point. But Mac seems to be the most consistent factor in Knight's success, and he is the opening goal scorer halfway into Game 4. I want another overtime just because it's incredible and nonsense, and it's making me so passionate that, you know, CAF opens the scoring for Mystics again, and it's like we're doing it all over again. Like, I feel like I'm in a loop, Liquid. Is this the Matrix? What's happening?
I have to give props for Knight on that, not the goal that we just scored, but the previous one, that whole play. You know, Mystics had no idea what was going on. Knights didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew who was shooting or who was defending. It seemed like Knights was doing it all. They were being a true paladin, not only attacking, but they were defending their enemies at the same time. So kudos to them. That was just quite
I just had a great idea. Sorry to interrupt. Imagine if we took all the color, every car was grey and no one could see names, and it was all just octanes. How incredible that would look. Anyway, yeah, as I ramble on my mad science, we continue to have a Rocket League game with almost 1:30 left to go, and neck and neck, all dead along the line. Evelios to keep this pumped higher, CAF to try and follow. AV had to use a lot of boost to get to that one, but will be the receiver of this if Maui can't get a touch, but he does. Mac to 58 through. This is just a free clear for AV. Gonna look for the pass, but instead it's to Evelios. Sand Monkey can follow. Midfield battle ensuing continues to happen. Double commit could favor Mystics as they get a little bit of space to work with, but the first one gets bumped well away from it, and Knights might have control here in the final minute.
It really looks like, for the last little bit here, the way that Mystics are playing is they are backing way off. I have found so many Mystics players on their own half.
Oh!
There's
Okay.
a rifle of a shot. But as I was saying, it seemed that I was trying to say that Mystics were playing a little bit passive, as we see the opposite happen, where CAF looked like he had control. Both Mac and his teammate were defending the same position on the net, and Maui sniped that one in the bottom left-hand corner on the inside of both of them, and is able to take the lead for the first time.
Very clever offense. He was hidden. The first man was approaching it from high, and he could sneak underneath to get it past both defenders. Mac with the reset attempt will be sent all the way back down the field, not on target. Fortunately for Knights, doesn't really make a difference at this point though, because they can't concede anymore, or they will have no chance at overtime. Mac fakes this one out, pulls out the defender. That was clever. Backboard. Can he follow this himself? Evelios has to get that touch, and does. Sad Monkey to keep it alive, but there's no one there. Maui's just going to kill as many seconds as he dares as it's sent to the sidewall. No one is there. So many seconds wasted as the final 10 tick away. AV sends it back the wrong way, and Sad Monkey has to get this beyond the first man. AV is going to be all the way up for this one. Evelios to spike it and take the fourth game. You were 50-50 on your prediction, Liquid, and well, a 4-0 sweep denied. Very much one that the Knights should have taken based on the trajectory of this entire series. The third one, complete write-off. We don't know what happened there. It was an anomaly and a black spot in all of our memories. But it will be the fourth and the final to finish it off for Mystics. And, well, yeah, I guess second versus sixth sort of makes sense. 3-1 to the higher placed team. But there was just so much nonsense that happened throughout this series that it felt like individual episodes in a series, in a film, TV series. You know what I mean? Just completely different to each other, but still loosely connected in the vein of it's Rocket League. Something is happening that is balls and rockets and cars. But it felt so disconnected between the games. There was so many weird stories going on. And eventually the kicker was that Mystics denied a 4-0, which I'm sure they'll be somewhat happy about to at least get one on the board, but they'll be bitterly disappointed that they just had very, very little at the start of this series, and they couldn't find themselves quickly enough. And Whether that's down to stream nerves, down to their individual, I don't know if they had a scrim, if it was a bad scrim, whatever the case may be. I know CAF had only played 2 games for this team before this series, so might be a struggle of chemistry at this point early on in the season. Hard to say. We know the brass tacks, the reality of the situation, the numbers. Say that Knights took this one. Mystics still had plenty of it. They still had a lot of goals towards the end of the series, and I still think they'll have plenty to give as the season progresses.
I think Knights have to be very happy with their performance. They did awesome tonight. Overall, they really dominated. They were able to convert on their opportunities, and I think Mystics, that's one of their takeaways. They got to learn when to control the ball and when to move it quickly. One of the things that sticks out in my mind is when all 3 Knights jumped out of the net and the Mystics got a hold of the ball. They were not able to convert on that opportunity because they didn't move the ball fast enough towards the net to allow another Mystics player. So either they need to work on a little bit of recognizing what's going on in the field. It could be communication, who knows what there is there, or just being able to find each other. That last goal that we saw by Maui, being able to rifle that one in, I don't know. That didn't look like that was turning into a passing play. That looked like CAF was trying to do a 1v3 or a 1v2, against Knights. And in 3v3, you have to dismantle your opponents. You have to get them out of the net. This can't be a 1v2, a 1v3. You want 1v1s or you want 1v nuns. And in order to do that, you have to get your players, the opponents, moving away. Knights were able to do that. Mystics were not able to do that. And we saw Knights come away 3-1. So good games overall. There was some fantastic plays. Again, I think Mac was a big difference maker on the field tonight.
Certainly was. I didn't get a glimpse at all the statistics throughout the thing, as you saw on the end screen. It will have said overall series stats. I imagine Mac was quite up there. I imagine CAF was. He scored most of the goals for his team. He might have scored all of them. I'm not entirely sure at this point. There was quite a few that went in. Maui, obviously, you were talking about, scored a fair few. I think Velios got 1 or 2 throughout the series. I won't lie in saying that I felt slightly deflated, slightly. It feels harsh to say disappointed in in Velios's performance there, because it's just one man. It is a 3v3, and you cannot rely on one person to do everything and be the one to do everything. Despite how much we see that happen quite often, we see players do some perform some incredible feats solo. And you're talking about there, you prefer 1v1s or 1v0s, of course. In a 3v3 situation, most common is going to be 1v2 if the rotation is there. Sometimes you can beat that, and Deception worked for them at the end. They just need to start figuring out how to utilize that at the start of the series before it's over and done with, because they'd already lost it. And I think that sort of took the pressure off in the 4th game. They knew they weren't fighting for as much. Still, every single game matters, and they will have realized that, but they had less expectation on them to perform as much, especially after the nonsense, the chaos of Game 3. It felt like a complete reset, and anything could have happened. And it ended up being a close one, as you predicted it to be. You also predicted the 4th game for them to win as well, so congratulations on that one. I am wrong. I was right in the first one. I was wrong in the second one. I'll take 1 for 2. That's fine by me. But yeah, it was a great series to watch over alongside you, as always, Liquid. A pleasure. And yeah, if we've got one more for the night in just around 15 minutes. I think that's the end of the rival tier. Looking at the poll schedule here, it is Pardus versus Canaans. I think that's Challenger. It's Challenger or Prospect. It's one of the two.
Challenger. It's Challenger.
All right, it's Challenger.
Yeah.
So it's one step down. I imagine the gameplay will slow down a little bit, but it will still be entertaining because it will be Sir Pegasus, yes, the man, the myth, the legend, and of course Aaron alongside him as well to close out the stream. What a wonderful gift that is to all of you watching at home. And we hope you've enjoyed this one. We hope you continue to enjoy this one. My name has been Vector, alongside me, Liquid Sight as well. Pleasure. And yeah, we hope you enjoy the rest of your night. We'll be back very soon with some more RSC action.
Buried far beneath, hiding in the deep, the perfect enemy. Oh, oh, oh. The darkness changes shape to exist in every place. There is no escape. Oh, oh, like spiders spinning a web of deception. We're tangled up. We can't let our demons take control of us. We should know what we are capable of. We all have a dark side. Don't be scared, you can't hide. So we pray that we have the strength to fight. Waiting in the wings, praying on the way, conspiring while we sleep. Oh, creatures of the night, hidden in plain sight, powerless in the light. Oh, we can't let our demons take control of us. We should know what we are capable of. We all have a dark side. Don't be scared, you can't hide. So we pray that we have the strength to fight. We pray that we have the strength to fight. No one's soul is safe from the demons inside us. No one's soul is safe from it all. No one's soul is safe from the demons inside us. No one's soul is safe from it all. No one's soul is safe from the demons inside of us. No one's soul is safe from them all. No one's soul is safe from the demons inside of us. No one's soul is safe from them all. We can't let our demons take control of us. We should know what we are capable of. We all have a dark side. Don't be scared, you can't hide. So we pray that we have the strength to fight. And we pray that we have the strength to fight. No one's so safe from the demons inside us. No one's so safe from it all. No one's so safe from the demons inside us. No one's so safe from it all. No one's soul is safe from the demons inside us. No one's soul is safe from it all. I'm taking myself out of this gray. I'm taking myself out of this graveyard. Out of this graveyard. Nothing but misery and loneliness under this ground, surrounded by skeletons that were lost and never found, buried in complacency, but torches ablaze. You can't wait to turn the world against me. I better watch what I say before you tarnish my name. You won't stop until you've got my tongue tied with lies. You've got my tongue tied. You've got both hands on me, your death grip tightening, showing no mercy or understanding. Waiting at every turn, trying to dig up the dirt. This is not what I deserve. Is it fun to watch me burn? Following me in a hurt, haunting my words like a curse. This is not what I deserve. Is it fun to watch me burn? I better watch what I say. With pitchforks and torches ablaze. You can't wait to turn the world against me. I better watch what I say before you tarnish my name. You won't stop until you've got my tongue tied with lies. You've got my tongue tied with lies. You've got my tongue I better watch what I say. With pitchforks and torches ablaze. You can't wait to turn the world against me. I better watch what I say before you tarnish my name. You won't stop until you've got my tongue tied with lies. You've got my tongue tied. Lone wolf, I was running by myself. I don't want anybody else. I'm solo. Being on my own was easy. Thought that I was all I needed, but I'm the storm that beats the moon. I'm the sun that will not move. Do you think you are? Who do you think you
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final series of RSC. Sir Pegasus is here. He's just had a match. He's just won 3-1. Worked very hard sitting on the bench. But right here next to me, I have Aaron.
I mean, I'm here. I just came off a match as well. I'm FA, so no win or lose for me. I was asked to fill in for a scrim. But we're not talking about we're not here to talk about our games. We're here to talk about Pantera and DSQ. What do you think?
Well, this is my conference, okay? This is the challenger tier. We've gone down a bit from the stream, but I'm sure the excitement will still be high. And I'm gonna be honest, I think this Panthera side, they look strong. I'm just gonna have to go 4-0. 4-0. It's brutal, but I think Panthera historically a very good org. I've seen the players, they're amazing, and I don't think Cannons really have it this season, and the stats just show that.
I mean, for my side, it's gonna be a 4-0 as well. I mean, the Barda side just looks much stronger. I mean, they're playing with an FA, I think, because their roster now consists of 2 people. So they're definitely playing with an FA. But let's see how that FA might play, and maybe he gets in the main roster to play more matches. We'll see.
Of course, this is a dream. This is the chance to show yourself. And DSQ, they really have a lot to work on. Currently going 0-8, quite literally the worst start you could have to the season. But now they're on stream, the pressure's up, the table has been set. Can they get their first huge performance right here in front of the crowd?
I mean, due to our predictions, they're not. We might see that. I mean, I guess 4-0. I guess we had right into gameplay.
Yeah, I think you're right. Let's go straight in. And I would like to point out, I have been corrected by Tavish in the chat. It didn't show on the stats, but they have actually gone 2-10. So managed to draw a series, gone from loss to draw. That's a steady uprise, hopefully. So maybe they can get their first win. It's looking like that now. They're building up momentum. But this start, maybe not in their favour, as Paradis has the early attack. Nature Gaming trying to give himself a chance here. But the defence so far from Cannons, been strong, but we're only 15 seconds in.
Clear by Hilo now. He's gonna want to get it to Nature, but can't really get something out of that. Halo now gets it in front of goal. No one there to finish it off though. Beautiful clear by Tavish. Can Nature touch it? Beautiful touch and beautiful clear by him.
Yeah, it's very nice there from Pardis. It goes to their half and they've immediately moved it to the other. The transition game so far has been so fast. Hilo was looking for the follow-up there. Unable to get the read, but Tavish, very good controlling the ball there. He had an opponent in front of him. If he hit that too hard, it was going to go straight over his head. But he's got enough experience here. These people here, obviously, Challenger, they know what they're doing. And they got some mechanics as well. Nature Gaming trying to show it out. He got the first reset, unable to use it too effectively. But if there was anything to notice from there was the follow-ups. Oh!
We've got a real one.
Oh, and
nice.
we're in a 2v2.
I mean, we're RSCU has now turned into RSEU because there's no third. It's now 2v2 and it's in. Nature Gaming scores the 1-0. Like Adam Bomb says in the chat, this is Rocket League. I mean, they were just having. I mean, if you look at that, man, beautiful rule 1 in the corner, and it's 1-0 for Nature.
Well, we respect the rules down here, and Nature Gaming, it felt like it was a long time coming. Already so involved in offense, and in a very short time it's been in defense. He's taken it out so well. The way he can carry the ball really gives his team the advantage, and keeping it close, it favors you for 50s. But Hilo there, unable to get a good enough touch, easily cut out by the Cannon side, who'll get their first real attack of the game. It needs to escape this corner though, because it's very safe for Pardis right now.
Now Hilo is gonna want. Oh, they both just drove like a racing track around the ball. I mean, it's not F1, guys. It's Rocket League. I mean,
yeah.
You guys know I like my Charlie gameplay, and you guys know I like to roast them as well. Even though I myself are a prospect, I mean, I get the rights. I'm a caster. I have the caster role, so I get to talk on them. And it's in already.
But can you, Aaron? But can you? Because Nature Gaming, he showed them what it's all about. This is hopefully your future competition if you could pick up the pace a little, but you cannot keep up with shots like that. Not even people in this tier can keep up with shots like that. It's a great shot by Nature Gaming. 2 goals for him, and it's just so deserved.
I mean, definitely. I mean, who else is the one to score it's nature, of course. I mean, 3 shots already and 2 goals. That's like a 75% shooting. Not 75, like 77 maybe. I'm not a math genius. I do like one of the most lowest like levels on my school in my country. But I mean,
Prospect in maths, yeah.
yeah, prospect in maths, exactly. I mean, I think that's probably 75%. That is definitely 75%, but I don't know why I'm waffling about. But we're not here to talk about math, we're here to talk about nature gaming and his beautiful shots.
Yes, of course. Nature Gaming, I had the chance to play with him in pre-season in RSC12 for Ox. We both ended up getting dropped, but watch him thrive now. He's improved so much since then and has really made an impact on this game, but it's Tavish. He's the captain, he's the GM, and he's trying to fight back for his franchise.
I mean, he's definitely trying to fight back for his franchise. It's his franchise, and I'm pretty sure he's the owner of the whole org as well. Pretty sure. I'm
pretty sure you're correct. Yeah, I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you are correct. And what a way to show yourself. What a way to set an example to the players that he has drafted himself, trying to open up the scoreline and maybe get a comeback in this game. 1 minute 40 left. It is very, very doable. And they've picked up the pace quite a lot. It doesn't feel as Pardas dominated, but just as I say that, they've got a very good attack going. Nature doing so well to keep it in the danger area, but he's denied by the post, and then the crossbar. All woodwork getting involved to keep cannons alive.
How is that 9? I think it was like a total of like, I don't know how many shots. It was a lot of shots, at least 4 shots, and they're not in. I mean, cannons are gonna want to scratch their backs on this one because they're lucky because that one didn't go in for the 3-1.
Yeah, still 1 minute remaining. They see the announcement on their screens, but Pardas have the pressure there. Adam Bomb was ready on the goal line. He's had a lot of practice this game, trying to fight against an aggressive Pardas offense. But they need to turn that around. They need to get chances of their own, and they've got some space here to make some magic happen. That bump obviously going to make it a bit more difficult, but Adam Bomb was ready, and Nature looking a bit awkward here. They'll be able to have a comeback here, Cannons in this position, and Corintra has to get the good clear, place it in the corner, and that is absolutely perfect when you are the last man back.
Definitely, he did a good job there, but what's a good job as well is Tavish scoring the 2-2. 17 seconds left, and Pardas is now all tied up.
And who else but Tavish? I mean, it just had to be. If you wanted a man to come in and take this game by the horns and bring himself back, why not be the man who owns the org himself? But wait, a kickoff goal could absolutely crush their dreams. Pardas still on the tag, 10 seconds left, but it does not feel safe. I wouldn't count overtime as a definite yet. Nature Gaming, he's got space in the air. Can he get the double? He doesn't need to. Straight into the top right, and he's got the hat trick.
It's in 1 second left. It's gonna need to be a 0-second goal for Cannons, but I mean, that's not gonna happen. The definite one man of the match, Nature Gaming, right here.
Yes.
Pardas
And it is
first.
And it is the hope that kills you. Cannons really looked like they had the comeback going. They were 2-0 down, managed to equalize it all up. They were looking strong, but Nature Gaming just seems inevitable. And I didn't have the heart to tell you that 2 out of 3 goals of shots is 66%, but now it is 75%, like you were saying. Just so confident in that side. It was just his speed. It was how good he was individually on the ball. He always had control. Whether it was defense, offense, he was just ready.
I mean, Nature Gaming, I'm pretty sure his name in RSC, the database at least, is Nature. So I'm gonna call him Nature, but Nature Gaming is a nice name as well. And I'm not sure what's Quarantera, but he's the FA and he's performing quite well as well, getting every single assist that is possible in this game.
Highlight though, not having a goal contribution, but I think that's deceptive to how he played. He was getting those midfield battles in their favour, really preventing it from going into their half that often until maybe the second half, where you could feel Cannons were starting to build a bit more pressure, but Tavish led his team into what could have been a comeback. But now the comeback isn't game focused, it's series focused. They need to win to make this back to 1-1.
Like you said, could have been, but all they can focus up now is this game, and it can already be crushed in the first second. Garntera, the FA, scores the 1-0 in 3 seconds. What a miscommunication.
It wasn't even a miscommunication. Tavish just sent himself flying on the kickoff and gave them quite a clear chance, quite a lot of space, and they had the good reaction time to realise they had a chance there. Sometimes you accidentally pass them the ball thinking you're going to get a 50 in middle, but no, very good quick thinking here, and it's Nature Gaming again. What a pass and what a shot. Hilo gets his first goal contribution, and what a way to do it.
I mean, first the pass of Garntera, then the, I mean, kind of, what can you call it, a pop, or you kind of redirect to the goal. And of course, who else but Nature Gaming? He scores it, and it's a beautiful goal. Might be goal of the week, maybe. I mean, it's a nice goal. Maybe goal of the week. We don't know yet. But if it is, it's gonna have my boys on it. So, I mean, it's gonna be yeah, it's gonna be clip of the week. Let's be fair enough.
Okay, perhaps. I don't know what's been scored so far. I know there was a great clip of the week last week that I'm not sure we're going to be able to follow this time. But Cannons starting to get that pressure. It feels like when they're 2-0 down, they finally lock in, but it's just too little too late. They give themselves such a hard job here, and Pardus, they haven't given up yet, and Hilo gets the goal. He is so needed. Corentra, I'm not sure if that's exactly how you pronounce it. The FA has stepped in, and it's a beautiful assist straight off the backboard. He's seen that it's clear and open, and Hilo with the read.
I mean, it's already 1-0. I mean, what is DSQ or DSQ Cannons gonna do now? I mean, 3-0, 4 minutes left, enough time, you would say. But, I mean, it's so much time, but I mean, it can go wrong very quickly if you face a Pardus side, because if they go into attack too quickly, it's gonna be counter attack, and if you got Hilo, Garntera, and Nature on the offense, you already know it's gonna be a goal.
Yeah, that transition game is so scary, but sometimes you've just got to throw him off the pitch. It's a great demo from Tavish, and how's he got back? What a save! It's out of a danger area, but it very well should have been a goal, you think. So well done, and they go for the pinch. That was well communicated, but not quite well executed. JTM, close control of the ball, lays it off to his captain. And they've got a good chance here. JTM managing to grab the boost, trying to starve them that little bit. And I think Adam Bomb will be every man in that corner. He wants to follow his bobbling quite awkwardly. And Tavish again opens the scoring for DSQ Cannons.
Finally, and it's finally in. I mean, after that huge chance, must be heartbreaking to not score that, but now in, and it's in. I mean, 3 minutes. The last goal was scored in a minute time. I mean, if they go up like this, they win. So I mean, let's see if DSQ can come back to this. It will be a very nice story, indeed.
Look at Hilo with the free jump. They just seem so connected, this team so far. And in a draft format, that is impressive. But what has happened here? It's a complete misplay in the corner. It's bounced off the wall, and it's just an open shot. Corentra unable to read the play, and he just sits there and watches and weeps as Tavish, because of course it's Tavish, has put another one away for DSQ. 2 minutes 43 seconds left. A 1-goal game. Mistakes starting to come out now for Pardus, which we haven't seen a lot of. And Hilo, he says, don't worry, Corentra, I'll get a stack 2-goal lead back.
Beautiful goal again, but I mean, Tavish, he has scored every single goal for DSQ. Is there any other man on the team, you would say? Yes, there's Adam Bomb and JTM, but they're just not doing as much as Tavish is. If they can go up to the speed that Tavish is doing, they might get a chance at this comeback.
Just as we say that, JTM might have a chance here, but he was unable to read it. The bounce on the waterfall was not quite the one he expected, and oh no, Nature's been given space. He can create a chance here. Tavish forced with an awkward clear. Adam Bomb gets a good follow in terms of speed, but as to placement, it's not perfect. And Hilo, not scared to hit the ball backwards if he knows that it's safe. And the demo there is going to be very helpful for Nature Gaming to try and keep this attack. Adam Bomb wants to flick it over. He's unable to, and once again, it's just back into the possession of Pardis, I was just about to say. But it's been thrown past him, and once again, it's someone who's going to have to save the day on the goal line.
Garantera or Adam Bomb, I mean, goes up. I would have said goes up the wall, but it psychs me and goes back to the ground.
Oh,
Maybe a goal here, and JTM scores the first. The first of his actually. He didn't score last game, and now you shush my mouth on Tavish being the only one that can score. He's like, nah, I can score as well. 4-3, 1 minute 31 to score another one to get at least that equalizer.
And two of these goals coming from defensive mistakes. Corintra not getting the clear he wanted, giving it straight to GTM. Hilo wasn't expecting it, and it's just quite an easy shot for him, and Cannons are very much in the distance to get this game back and to get their third win of the season in Series 4 so far.
Bomb goes up, just a 50 Garantera, but he gets beat. Beautiful 50, little dead ball now. Oh, goes up the
Contra demonstrated. And Adam Bomb could have a chance here. And there we go, it's Adam Bomb who's dropped a cannon for cannon. They are equalised now. It is a completely open game, and Pardis really not playing like they have been the rest of the game. They're making so many mistakes. They don't seem as in sync with each other anymore, and this is just what can happen sometimes. Sometimes you just lose it, especially in these tiers where it's fair to say the players aren't always as consistent.
Hilo, beautiful redirect. Is it going straight in? No, Tavish is there. It's on the post.
And it's well cleaned by Adam Bomb, but credits to Tavish who managed to tip it off the post.
Oh, God, beautiful redirect. What a goal! What a goal by Garantera. The FA, he's definitely getting signed now.
All three of these players on Pardis are so strong in the air. What a redirect, what a goal, and what a way to put yourself ahead.
Nah, he's getting signed. There's no way he's not getting signed. Like, he's getting signed now. Like, there's no way he's not getting signed. If I were Tavish, shine him up, lad. Oh no, it's equalizer.
Oh.
Adam Bomb, who else but Adam Bomb? He's on top now. It's 5-5. It's 10 goals already. What a matchup.
Yeah, I'm not really sure where our star man Corintra was for that play. I know Nature Game was in the offensive corner picking up boost. There was just no one back. Don't know if it's a miscommunication. I don't know if a play is just not rotated correctly, but that was certainly not good enough. But we might see ourselves an overtime now. There's so much potential, and JTM wants to keep this close control. He doesn't want a heartbreak in the dying seconds, and the ball going high makes it very scary for the Cannon side, who hit it back to his own goal, and they happen to be safe. They get 3 seconds to take a breath, and then they are back into the match. Next goal wins.
TM, beautiful 50 there, Nature. Adam Bomb just to get it, bang it, but doesn't really bang that. Hilo gets it to that corner, gets demoed though. Can he do something? Can he get it to a teammate? Beautiful 50 by Tavish. It's cleared out. Hilo now. Is someone there to finish it off? No, there's not. Hilo's there though. Gets it on the backboard. Anyone there to finish it off? No.
It's well defended by this Cannon side. And Adam Bomb will try and quell that offense. Try and start one of his own, but Corintra with a really good clear, and Adam Bomb was just ready. Look at that, he might even get the follow-up touch, but that's looking in the scary area. Someone's gonna have to jump for that, and it was a double commit, and it's very good that it was, because the first person to go up was actually the one to miss. Nature, been so good in the air, knocks it into Hilo. This partnership has been so strong, but not quite a connection there. Corintra once again forced to get a 50 in those midfield. Hilo wanted to take it from him. Don't think they quite timed it right here, and got a lot of work to do in this corner here. It's so difficult to bring it out, and Adam Bomb's actually done a good job at bringing it to the other side, but not much follow-up here. All three of them kind of sitting on the goal line right now, and you can't really be doing that. You can't be giving this Pardus team space. And Nature once again banging it off that corner. Hylo's been given a chance, and Tavish is there. Is he needed again? No, they've made one crossbar, and it's another save by Adam Bomb.
Bro, it's save. Cannons are doing everything to win this. I mean, to get it to 1-1, to crush our predictions. Are they going to though? Not quite yet. Hylo now has it. Just to get it to the middle.
Awkward.
No teammate
JTM
there.
had a chance to have a demo. And Nature Gaming puts them ahead. It's just a complete pandemonium in the midfield. It starts off with a miss from JTM, a demo by Hylo, which I actually think blocked the visibility for Adam Bomb, who was unable to get the save, and Pardus make it 2-0 in a game that felt all too close based on how well they performed in the first one.
I'm flabbergasted about that matchup. That was a matchup. Was it like 8 minutes? 8-minute matchup to give us everything but a win for Cannons. All they can get now is unfortunately a draw for them.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, would be a fair score to end on. But of course, Pardus are not gonna let that slide in so quickly.
Yeah, Cannons looked stronger and Pardus looked weaker. I think it's fair to say in that second game. Obviously, Pardus did end up winning, but you could just see those mistakes in the midfield. The game shouldn't have really been this close, but Cannons, we got more people involved. It wasn't just the Tavish show. We had Adam Bomb with 2 goals, 2 assists, and JTM with 2 contributions of his own. A very high-scoring game, 11. Not really something you respect, especially with how strong that defense was looking from Cannons. But when you let that much pressure happen, sometimes you're going to get a few leaks. But Game 3, Pardus have made sure they can't lose the series, but obviously, with how RSC works, it's just the game wins that counts. Cannons have still a lot to play for.
Heading into that Sovereign Heights, I think. Heading into Sovereign Heights. We're going to see if one of the teams, at least, is going to get at least slot home a victory. But we're going to see, because, I mean, Cannons have been coming back lately, and they're not going to want to give up a win so quickly.
Yeah, and an early chance for Cannons. They've been the ones to always concede first. They tend to go down by 2 goals before they start switching on. They're gonna have to change that. It's been a 1-goal game in that last one, so if they didn't start off so weak, they really did have a chance there in JTM with a confident clear and a lot of space on him now. He's got possession here. Hylo, confident 50, able to completely destroy that offense and bring it back to midfield.
Beautiful little dunk by Tavish. Now Hylo gets it to the ground, but JTM's there to meet him. Hylo's got the ball still though. Can he do something with it? No, he meets Adam Bomb.
And a demo on the goal line gives Cruncher a very open shot. So well played there. Nature Gaming completely throwing off JTM, who did look a bit awkward. He thought he had more time, and there certainly was in front of him, but not behind. And that's why they've been punished. 1-0 for Pardus. They've continued the trend of getting the starting upper hand.
JTM gets it on the backboard. Teammate there to meet it though? No. Only Hylo. Now Nature Gaming gets it on the wall. Can he do something fancy here? Must he flick? Double tap per se? No, gets stopped by JTM. What a clear by JTM. Can he follow it up with a counter attack though? Tavish gets it on the wall. Dead ball kinda now. Torrentera gets it cleared. No, it's not. It's still here. It's still here. JTM tries to get it in front of the goal, but is met by Nature Gaming, who clears it out.
And Pardus was so good at keeping it in that corner. They always say it's the safest of a pitch. It felt a bit scary at times, but at the end of the day, they didn't even get a shot in. Well controlled by the Pardus side, who once again are going to have to rely on this corner to save the day. Nature Gaming, good, but he got the soft touch there because Tavish was waiting. He was lurking about. He still actually managed to recover here. But high-low, well positioned and ready. Corinthia forced to get the 50 there. It could have been very, very dangerous. And finally, they managed to get it out and get a chance of their own, hopefully.
Hello. Garantera actually gets in front of goal. Easy clear by JTM is met by Hilo though. JTM gets in the middle for teammate maybe to finish it off. No, only Garantera there to me in. Now Nature gets it to his own half. Oh, what a clear by Hilo actually. Beautiful. Can Garantera finish it off with his beautiful redirects? I mean, it's what he's known for at this point.
Of course, yeah. I mean, all three of these players on cannons have been pretty strong in the air in those tight angles, and it's a bump by JTM, but it doesn't even get into the position where that bump would have been helpful. Adam Bomb done very well to controlling the air, still might get the follow-up. Corinthia is left awkward, but Hilo trying to save the day, and he has. Still dangerous. Corinthia has to knock it over JTM, who still gets the touch, still manages to stay close and prevent the counter, and so far, I think this has been the first game where I can confidently say cannons have looked more offensive. But that has changed nothing, because Nature Gaming on the counter-attack is so strong. Corinthia puts it over his head. He's had to go for an overhead read, and he's done so well. Nature Gaming, unbelievable this series, and he wants to secure the win.
Pegasus, that might be the goal that put cannons to sleep. But, it's not, they're not asleep yet. It's still 1 minute 30 at least while they're alive. So Tavish gets it in front of goal, but no. Not somewhere to finish a beautiful redirect by Nature, actually. No, JTM gets it. Nope, not an attack at all.
And Corinthia, awkward jump here. Nature Gaming might maybe faked a man here. Unable to get that shot though, the ball drifts a bit too far away for him, but Tavish now desperately needs to open up the scoring. Tries to play the pass in, but I think that extra touch just messed them up here, and it's Nature Gaming setting it up for Hilo. Can he get another redirect? Bumps in the box, complete chaos, but they've managed to get it out. The 3-0 has been prevented, but that's only talking about game score. We can't be confident about series score yet, because Hardest just haven't been able to put their... Cannons just have not been able to put their chances away yet.
Garantera, I still can't pronounce that name, man. Garantera tries to be a little annoying on their side. It's 18 seconds left. Can they do something? The answer is no. Hilo stops them. It's still alive.
And wow, Panthera, look at this. Whenever they've got an opportunity, they've just sunk their claws in. 2-0. It was just well worked from them. Even when they were in defense, it felt like they had complete control. They was in their half. It felt for so much of the game that was the case, but it was just in the corner. It wasn't really very useful for cannons, and Hilo especially, I felt, was so strong in the defense.
Especially Hilo. Hilo, Tavish. At first it was Nature. Now it's Hilo and Tavish getting the MVPs. I think that's right. It's
Yes.
Nature actually getting the MVP.
Nature.
But
Nature's just been so good. Nature has been incredible the entire series. He slowed down maybe a little bit in game 2. I don't know if it was fully his fault. It kind of felt like everyone slowed down in that game, but they look back when they're in offense, they just seem unstoppable. In defense, they've been very strong. And Aaron, we are one game off our predictions potentially being correct.
Some people might call me rigged or paid, but we're back with Park. Oh no, back with Park. This is not my favorite map, but we're gonna head into it, and we're gonna see if our predictions come right or Cannons can get a game at least.
And this will be the last match of the series and the last match of the stream. So let's hope we can get an absolute doozy. And these are two teams that have players that can create those hype moments. Of course, we've had Hilo and Nature really showing off some of their mechanics, and Tavish, JTM and Adam Bomb, they've gone for more of those team plays, some of those ground passings, the lower to the floor kinds of plays.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I mean, it's just them players is just controlling the field at this point, and the other players are just like spectators like us, but we're commentating and they're not. But enough about the roasting, we're gonna head it right into the gameplay. Carntera bangs it, Adam bumps to me and low. Hilo shoots it, not in.
Oh!
Oh, is it in? No, it's not. Yes, it is.
It's not, but Tavish was ready, and a pinch of a defense was the last thing I expected here, but it's managed to work out. Kind of unreadable for Pardis, no real way to stop that except for to get a 50 initially. It was over once they'd got that. He's not going to miss there, Tavish. When he has been in front of goal, he's actually done a pretty decent job, I would say. It's just they need to create more of those chances, and they'll be so good. I want a bit more, but Cannons, for the first time, are the ones to open up the scoring, and they've got themselves a lead.
I mean, that goal was just straight up luck. I mean, it was a double commit. It was a double commit, and I mean, it just flew straight in. Like, I could see the frustration on the other side with the quick chats. I mean, it was. Well, what was not, well, would have been not lucky was that goal, but it's not in. It's saved. It's still alive. Flick, and it's in. It's 1-1.
And Hilo is being an absolute nuisance. He drove straight past Nature, tried to bump the first, just scared him off. Adam Bomb was completely fearing him, and JTM, he was the braver one. He tried to stand his ground, but it wasn't enough. He has been absolutely sent. Hilo putting it on an absolute platter for Nature Gaming, who is my series MVP so far.
Oh, definitely. He's definitely the series MVP. If Cannons would have 4-0'd, it was Tavish, let's be fair enough. But they're not gonna 4-0, and it's gonna be Pardis. I mean, it's looking like Pardis is gonna 4-0 here. But nothing's done yet. Just keep on watching. It's not done yet. We're gonna see double tap perhaps. Yes, a double tap, and it's in 2-1, and you couldn't believe your eyes. It wasn't Carntera who finished it. It was Nature Gaming who just had too much space and just gets it in the back of the net, in the middle. You would say savable, but not savable when it's Carntera or Nature shooting.
It was Nature, and yeah, that backboard, the orange backboard, has completely belonged to him. He's got a few goals off it now, and once again, we saw that physicality come into play with Corintra scaring the goalkeeper a bit by just charging straight at him. He didn't touch him in the end, and Nature actually getting an aerial bump here. It's just so aggressive right now. They're so fast, they're so ready, always keeping complete pressure, trying to get that field domination, and that miss there isn't great, but Nature Gaming always ready to follow up for his teammates, and that's been something that Pardis have been so good at. They've constantly had each other's back.
In little conflict with Nature, but Nature wins it. Hilo now gets it to the side, one other touch, no. It's a touch to Tavish. Tavish gets it on the back. Tavish gets it on the back, but wow, my voice went a little touchy there. But it's fine, we got this.
Adam Bomb pops up quite nicely for Tavish, who has the boost to continue. JTM should be ready for the follow-up, and you really think he should be getting that on target there. We managed to see a bit of his boost amount. He definitely had enough to get the height. And what's happened here? It's been a complete misread of the play. He jumped lightly, thinking that he was going to get the 50, but he just simply didn't. Hilo has once again bombed a man on the goal line, and he's just always there. He's just always ready. It is Nature Gaming with another hat-trick this series.
I mean, what a fake that was. I mean, he definitely had enough boost to finish that off. I think I don't have his boost on the screen right now, but who cares about that when GTM scores a 3-2 to get a little closer to them.
Yeah, Adam Bomb getting the pinch in the corner, manages to fly over all those players that were just stacked in the near post, no one in the back post. was there nor ready, and very, very easy goal there for JTM, who's looked fairly strong this game, I'd say, but obviously need that extra push if they want to secure themselves a win. Adam Bomb, no, you can't be hitting the crossbar there, but JTM saves the day.
Oh no. Oh. Oh.
Some toxicity in the chat, which cannot be seen. Oh, it was an accidental water save. That cannot be seen on the stream, but there was a misinput in the quick chats. But we are in a tied game now. Cannons looking pretty good at the moment. They've managed to come back very quick. That clear will not be going straight in, but Crunch has still been given a job, and so has Hilo, but he's so fast to that ball. Two players stacked at this near post. Nature lurking about. Hilo was ready to go for another bump, it seems. Always so aggressive when he's in these attacking positions and just banging it off that back wall. They know that at any time Nature Gaming will be ready to poach for it.
Was it a misinput though? He proceeded to press the same button 4 times in a row and then proceed to pull out the
Oh, what isn't a misinput is Corentra with another strike, another goal. Hilo doing so well to dribble past 2 people. A misread on the backboard, and Corentra is given a lovely opportunity. He still had to be fast there. It was going to bounce off the ball quite hard, I think, so it's easy to have those flick over you. We see it so much here in Challenger, but this time he's been so ready, and now they are ahead. Pardus want this sweep badly.
Hilo now. I mean, they definitely won the sweep, and it's 4-3. Tavish and his team was looking very close there. Not too close now. 4-3, 18 seconds left to do something back. And we're 15 seconds away from our perfect prediction. That's the most
I wouldn't say
important
that.
part.
Hold on. It might be going to the other half. There's
No,
still
it
very
won't.
much a chance there.
Don't jinx it! Don't jinx it! don't jinx it now. It's in.
Yeah, and just the own goal to top it off. If you can't score in the other side, why not score in your own? 5-3 ends up being the final scoreline, but 4-0 in the total series score. Our predictions were correct. Pardus had a great series, but Cannons, I think they did show a lot of promise. There are little things that I think have to be fixed if they want to stand more of a chance. They're now going, I believe, 16 to, is it 12 to 2? 12 to 2 or 16 to 2? One of them. 16 to I don't know. I don't know. It's not good. It's not looking great for them so far on the table, but it's only week 2. Okay, thank you. Streamer Stingray, always ready to update us with the stats. It is 14 to 2. But it's only week 2. There's plenty of time to get back into this season. But a team that is looking great this season is Pardus. I think they are going to be ones to watch now. That connection from Hilo and Nature especially is so strong.
I mean, while I'm fixing my cam, I completely completely agree with you there. I mean, it was just too dominant. They were just too dominant. They got some goals back, but it just wasn't enough for the Pardus side to crumble, and it's a 4-0 deserved sweep.
And look at that, 10 goals from 19 shots. That's over a 50% conversion rate for Nature Gaming. Got 0 saves and only 1 assist, but that wasn't necessary because he was just bagging. He was just putting it into the other net. That's all you need. Sometimes you've just got to score more than your other team. And that is exactly what Nature Gaming did. The best defense is offense. He is so good, so mechanical, and I think season MVPs, if he carries on playing like this, he's got a chance to bag it.
It's week 2, man. Calm down.
Okay.
He
I'm just
can
very excited. Did you see that performance, Aaron?
God, I saw it, and I think I completely agree with you there. We've seen some crazy things happen in the RSC, so we're gonna see if that's gonna be a repeat of history.
Most importantly, however, Aaron, Our predictions were correct. It's incredible. And also, we've actually broken a curse that has been on this stream. I believe when I had a little look at the series scores before, they were all 3-1s. However, we've had a 4-0. We've had a different result, and it was more exciting than a 4-0 can typically be. The games were actually relatively close. I don't think it told the complete story. It was a really, really good performance, but there were times where I think DSQ should have been able to get a win here.
There were enough times DSQ just could get the chances to win because the mistakes of Bardas were just too much actually for a team to be winning 4-0. But I mean, they just couldn't finish it. There was nothing went on the DSQ side besides for Tavish and sometimes a little of the Adam bomb, but just a day to forget for the DSQ side.
Yes, definitely. It'll be interesting to see how they bounce back from this, and obviously there was a storyline with Corentra or Corentera, big Q, who performed very, very well as well for that Pardus side. Those three together just look so strong. The connection is clearly there. Like I said, game 3 did just feel like a hiccup. The rest of the games showed how well they can perform. It could have been anyone in front of them, I think, in the challenger tier, in my conference that could have faced them, and the other side would have a very, very tough time. But sadly, Aaron, we've reached the end of the stream. It has been a very, very good stream so far from the look of it. I did not get the chance to watch, but I've heard very, very good things. I think that was a very nice game to end it all off, and it was a pleasure to cast here with you.
Oh, it definitely was a pleasure. 4-0 sweep. I mean, that's a nice way to end things off on the day, and I would like every viewer to thank every viewer who tuned in, DSQ and the team Pantera to participate, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye
See
bye.
ya.